Alright, and welcome to another video on the Martial Consulting channel. I'm gonna give it my best to keep this one quick, but this is basically a tutorial, quote unquote, on how to start a martial arts school in 2024, possibly even in 2025, 2026. I don't know, in whatever year you're watching this, basically. Um, so basically, there's an underlying thing that I see when people start not only their martial arts school, but also their business, where it's like, they just fuck around, so to speak, too much with stuff. And I'm straight up gonna get into like the nitty gritties here. Like, I'm not gonna, I don't know, wait until the end for attention to give you then like the most golden nugget or whatsoever. I'm just gonna straight up dive into it now. And basically, most people when they start a martial arts school, they get their black belt, whatsoever. They train like for a few more years, whatsoever, and then they want to start like their own, let's say, jiu-jitsu gym. Um, they completely mess it up by like starting with like a business plan and starting with, I don't know, X, Y, and Z as well, and then they have to do this and this and this, and then they spend like months just working on the fucking logo, and like they just spent 2 years just basically launching the school when they could have done all of this in like, I don't know, 2 weeks. Um, Obviously we can argue now like finding the correct location, like there are still things you want to spend time on, right? But for the most part, just screw everything and just focus on the most important things when it comes to growing your school and actually starting it, right? And I mean, I'm gonna ask you this now. What would you say are the two fundamental most important things that need to happen when you start your school? I don't know if you've answered this right now in your head, but it's basically getting new students and delivering kick-ass classes for your existing students. We could argue for a third one here as well when it comes to like hiring people. So like those three would be the most important ones, but hiring at least in like the beginning, unless you like already have like a huge student base or whatever, may not make that much sense. There is an argument for it to make sense, of course, as well, because like you want to directly have like enough instructors and directly have enough receptionists. But in order to hire people, you first of all need to be good at delivering classes yourself and to kind of doing the marketing and basically doing everything around the gym yourself. And you obviously need to have students first of all. Like you need to get students in order to hire people, right? So otherwise, this thing wouldn't really make sense. Now, a lot of people then are also kind of shying away from the fact that they like have to make money with their school. Like that it's not just gonna be a non-profit thing, or like they're so passionate about their martial art whatsoever that they like just want to do it for fun and they don't really care about the money. But truth is, you've got to pay bills every single month. You've got to pay other people every single month whatsoever, right? But we fundamentally live in a world where there's not really any way around this. So you do have to make money with your school. Like being in this like fancy world where it's like, yeah, you don't really care about money with your school. You only care about like teaching people your martial art. That's cool, but that's not the reality. And I'm gonna explain something now to you, which might shock you. This statement in it as itself might shock you, but I want you to charge a fuck ton of money for your classes and still think that your martial art is the best and that you actually want to give other people the transformation that martial arts have given you at some point. So, because what will happen when you charge a fuck ton of money for your classes, people will come there and they'll actually be like, why did they charge so much money? I mean, it's expensive, but like there must be a reason for this. Why they're perceive the quality in classes as better just because it costs more. So if it would cost like $50 per month or $200 per month, the $200 per class is going to be perceived as better. There actually was an experiment on this done in I don't know when it was specifically, but it was like there were like three wines, so to speak, and one was like cheap, one was middle expensive, and the other one was really expensive. And people tasted the wine, and literally, I think it was like 80%, 90% said that like the most expensive one tasted the best. Um, but the thing is, all of them were basically the exact same wine, so there were no difference in them, right? And you can apply this principle to your martial arts school as well. Like the classes may be the exact same, but when you charge more money for them, people perceive them as more value, so to speak, right? And like to get back to how to actually start, just focus on the fundamentals. Like pick a location. It doesn't fucking matter what location you pick. Obviously, I want to take that back. It does, but it doesn't too much in the beginning. Like just pick some location, even if it's like, I don't know, like a shitty community hall, whatsoever, like anything, as long as you have something to start, and then just focus on providing best classes possible literally the most outstanding classes possible that are out there, because simple, like people are then gonna come through word of mouth even more. Your existing students are gonna stay longer, and like your repetition of the schools just in general gonna be way better than if you would just provide like some mediocre classes. And most importantly, no, not most importantly, but second most importantly, focus on um, getting new students in the door. I figure out how to do this. There are hundreds of videos on the internet on how to do this, but just figure out how to get more students for the school. Literally, like it's not as important as keeping your existing students, because like let's say you already had like 100 students, right? And you could choose, all right, either you I mean, how do I phrase this? Either you can't get new students anymore. No, let me phrase it differently. Sorry for that. I think Alex Hormozy was it who said it like this. Let's say you could only get new students through the students you are currently having. How would you do it? So let's say you would grow your school to like 100 students, and then you're not allowed to advertise. You're not allowed uh, to do any marketing basically anymore for your school. And the only way you could get new students for your school is by leveraging your existing students. Like, what would you do? Like, what would you do differently, right? How would you set up your school, etc. And ask yourself that question, like, would you build up maybe a new referral program? Would you, I don't know, gamify the referral program where it's like the person who brings the most friends in the school gets like a free uniform, gets like a month free. I don't know, get creative with it, right? So always focus on delivering literally the best class, and then like at the beginning you're not good. Like when you have like 10, 20 students, 30 students, below 50 students, this doesn't really matter. Just figure out how to get more students, like calculate the return on investment. If you spend X amount on ads, how much do you get back, etc. um, and just focus on those two things. Don't spend time fucking around with your logo. Don't spend time on your name, on whatever is out there. Just start, and the rest will come automatically. Literally, I'm gonna give you like half an hour for your logo and for your name. That's it. Start a stopwatch, create the logo, create the name, and that's it. And then just keep it as it is. And if you really want to change it, you can always do this later on. But for the most part, like this shit doesn't really matter. The thing that's mattering is actually providing really fucking good classes, and obviously having people to come into the school. Now, as I said, this is a shorter video, and I just thought about recording this because I saw people fucking around too much when they start their business. Anyways, if you in any case want more students for your school, you can click the first link in the description. Full transparency here. It's a funnel. It's a video of me designed to sell you something. You don't have to click it. It's up to you. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.